Hi, Rena. I think you're the only one here so far. Just wait a little longer for more people to show up before I get started here. All right. Just wait a few minutes for some more people to join. Just get started in a moment here. Probably give another couple minutes here just to see if more people arrive. I'll just get started in just one more minute here. Just wait for a few more people. Okay, I'll probably get going. And then if we have some late arrivals, then that's okay. Good thing about Meteor Impact is all these sessions are recorded, so we will have them on YouTube at a later date. So um, we'll get going, and if people have any questions, we can review after if you joined a little late. But for now, let's dive in. So this half-hour session is just going to be a overview of Meteor marketing. So all of the marketing initiatives that our team has predominantly been focusing on for the last 12 months. We'll do a bit of an overview of a few things, but predominantly what has happened in the last 12 months since our last Meteor Impact session, where we heard from Matt Hollingsworth. So he did the marketing announcements and communications for Impact last year. So Meteor is definitely in a different spot than we were last year, but we'll review some of the things that Matt reviewed and kind of where we're at now and moving into the next 12 months. So I'll do just a quick minute here just about me. As much as I have been at Meteor for just over a year now, but I don't think I'm sure a lot of you probably are familiar with my face or have heard of me before, except for on the podcast, I guess. But for those of you who might not know me, so my name's Elise. I've been with Meteor for just over a year now. And my background in marketing, so specifically comes from, a lot of places, but I was with Disney Interactive Studios for quite a while, working in their marketing and content department, mostly for Star Wars IP, which was super fun. And that was in their online gaming sector. So yeah, that was definitely a great place to start in marketing. after that, moved into more of the SaaS startup bootstraps phase of my career. So started predominantly working for smaller SaaS companies in 2016 and some ed tech companies as well. So a lot of the smaller SaaS startups is predominantly where I have a lot of my experience from the last few years, and definitely a space that, yeah, I really love, really interested in. Much like Matt, who said this last year in his Meteor Impact presentation as well, I am not a developer, which I want to be very clear about. We try a lot on the marketing team to make sure we're keeping up with everything from the development perspective, just so that we're in the know and we understand what's going on. But definitely a hobbyist opposed to a full-blown developer, although I am still trying to learn as much as I can. Another little fun fact about me as well is during the pandemic, I wanted to go back to school to get some UI UX design under my belt. So thankfully with that, I'm just about finished that. I'm doing one course this semester as well. But thankfully with that, it does involve me doing a bit of coding. So it's been quite exciting to integrate that into Meteor and to learn more about it. It really has been such a treat, and I feel very privileged to work for Meteor and be doing the UI UX along the side, because I feel like I have a bit of a leg up and some support in the community with that. So that's a bit about me. So I wanted to start right now by just reviewing the last 12 months and then what's next for us and for Meteor for the next 12 months as well. And then we'll leave some time at the end for questions. But I wanted to predominantly start with the last 12 months, because when we had our Meteor Impact marketing session last year, a lot of what we were focusing on was challenges and opportunity. And so that was at the forefront of what marketing was approaching, was what challenges were we facing after the acquisition from MGD, and what opportunities did we have in front of us, which there were countless opportunities that we had in countless directions. So we really took the last year to kind of hone in on that and be able to format some structures and some different possibilities for ourselves, and kind of hit the ground running with some different strategies that we had. So yeah, so I'll mention as well, if you're, relatively new here and you're not familiar with the acquisition, we won't dive into too much of it today, just because that was definitely a focus last year. But there is a blog post on our blog if you'd like to read more about the acquisition from MGD to Tiny. So that's there for you to access as well. But yeah, so I guess a really big one for us over the last 12 months is we really wanted to get people excited about building with Meteor. So over the last year, we really wanted to encourage and create a lot of momentum and highlight how Meteor makes the lives of developers so much easier. That was a huge one for us, because we know that that's such a big position with Meteor. Like we know that people can adopt it fairly quickly, and that it does simplify the lives for developers. So over the last 12 months, that's definitely been at the forefront for us, is making sure that we are really highlighting that in all of our marketing initiatives, and trying to push that forward as much as possible. One other change that I'll chat about just quickly as well over the last 12 months. So this was a pretty big project that we pushed forward in 2021. So this was January of this year, although it feels like 5 years ago. I'm not sure if anybody else feels that way, but January of this year feels like 5 years ago for me. It feels like forever ago. But we did push forward with the launch of Meteor Cloud, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. So this was a really big team initiative that we pushed forward this year as well. So if you did want to check out the website, which is a bit different this year as well, you can go take a look at that and some of the different aspects of Meteor Cloud that we all put together as a team. We're all, I think, very proud of the facelift that we brought to Meteor Cloud and just the back end and Galaxy in general. And yeah, we're always obviously open to feedback on any of this, but this was another big push that we had this year that I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with. So going back to kind of building the momentum this year and how we wanted to really highlight the impact that Meteor has for not only startups, but just companies in general. We're so focused this year on making sure that we're communicating to our community and prospective users and future developers and people just coming into the tech space about how Meteor can help you and how it can really make your life easier as a developer. So one really big initiative that we pushed for this year were case studies. And this was a really fun one for us because it provided us an opportunity to really get into the meat and potatoes of how people are not only building with Meteor, but how in a lot of cases, how they're very uniquely building with Meteor. And these are just two examples of some recent case studies that we have done in the last year. We are projected to be on schedules to do one a month, which is actually pretty exciting for us as well. So one case study a month, but yeah, this has been such a fun project for us because it really allows us to sit down with a company that's using Meteor and understand how they're building with us, but also look at those unique facets of what are you doing differently? How can the community benefit from this? Because I think that we're in a very unique position of having such an engaged community. I'm sure every one of you sees that in the forum as well, across Twitter or Facebook, just all of the channels that we have of how engaged the community is. So this was such a big initiative for us because we wanted to make sure that that we were not only highlighting these awesome companies that are building with us, but demonstrating some of the exceptional ways and different ways that you could build with Meteor, because there's a lot out there, a lot of really awesome things that people are doing. So these are two examples. We have a few coming up in the next couple months that we're really excited about. One big one in particular that I'm sure the community is going to be very thrilled to read through. But we're always on the hunt for more of these. So if it is something that your company or just yourself, if you're single-handedly building something, we would be more than happy to sit down with you and to build a case study out for you, because it's such an awesome thing for the community to get a hold of and to read. And it's really an enjoyment for us too. So this for us this year was one way that we were trying to really build momentum around how easy it is to build with Meteor, but also just the unique ways that some people and developers can build with Meteor. Another thing for us as well this year that we really wanted to push forward, not only the case studies, but we started the Meteor Spotlight series. So this was another really fun one for us too, because it was an opportunity for us to promote different companies and how they're building with Meteor. So this was one that we launched a little later this year, excuse me. And again, we're always looking for more participants. So if it's something that you're ever interested in participating in, we would love to have you on board. There's countless links on our Twitter page for you to access. And I think in our monthly newsletters as well, we typically have a link for you to access here, but this is a super fun one too. It allows us to not only showcase, again, how people are building with Meteor, but it allows you to have a bit of exposure in front of the community that we have behind us. So it's a fun one too for different companies to be able to get themselves out there and for people to see how they're building with Meteor. So this has actually been a recent one that we've been pushing forward. Something that we started just a few weeks ago. And Felipe has actually had, I think he's had this idea for quite a while, and we're pretty thrilled to finally move forward with it. But we started live streaming, and it has been such an exciting and fun initiative for us. And we're going to be doing these bi-weekly, so bi-weekly live streams. So our next one will be on Thursday, October 28th at 2 p.m. EST, and this one will be a Meteor Impact Review. So for this one specifically, we're going to really get into a lot of the a lot of the content that we talked about in the conference in the last couple days. So if you weren't able to come to any or all of the sessions in the last couple days, I know for myself, some of them started at 1 in the morning, so I wasn't able to come to some of those, but it'll be a really great place for us to kind of dig into all of the details about all of the sessions. And it allows you to really engage with us and ask questions. I know Felipe has a keynote speech tomorrow as well with some announcements, so we'll be diving into more of the details of that in the live stream as well. But this is a fun one for us. We're really thrilled to be pushing forward with live streams. I know not a lot of people have time for live streams, so they are always going to be posted on YouTube as well after, but the last turnout that we had was really great. So it's super fun for us. It's an opportunity for us to really kind of engage with our community in a live setting and to answer questions immediately. And it's something that, like I said, we're going to be pushing forward for a bi-weekly session as well in the foreseeable future. So the last one is more of a bigger structure that we are kind of announcing today as well, which I know Felipe will probably get into a bit more tomorrow in some of his sessions, and something that Fred touched on earlier, but just the educational component. So this is just a mock-up of something that we have in, I guess, a bit of a beta or a bit of a draft, but we are transitioning to more of an educational direction from the Meteor side of things. So we had the concept a little while ago of developing a course, developing tutorials, developing a university to be able to get in front of more people, prospective developers, people who might be new to Meteor, more advanced developers, more advanced skills. So it was an idea that we came up with, and we are hopefully pushing our first course live for November, the first week of November. So you can stay tuned for that. But we're really excited to be moving forward in the educational space, because it is such a big opportunity for us to really highlight for not only, like I said, current developers, but prospective and future developers as well, of how great of a platform Meteor is, and how user-friendly, and how it will really impact people's time and their lives. So the courses are going to be sectioned off into different modules. There's going to be videos and quizzes. We're really kind of diving into all of the framework and the structured content that's needed to really start with Meteor. But like I said, we are going to have more advanced courses as well, and more advanced opportunities for a few different areas for people to learn, but a direction that we're really excited to move in, and think that will be really fun just from a content perspective for us, but hopefully really fun for the community as well, to be able to dive into some of these different courses and learn something. One more point with this as well, and another great thing that is going to be included is certificates and badges too. So that's something that you can always post on your LinkedIn if that's something you choose to do as well. But they will come with some kind of certification, so that you do have the recognition of course completion. So more details to come on this. When the course is a little bit more fleshed out, we'll be sending emails out to not only the impact list, but more of our email lists, so that you'll have all the information that you need for all of the courses. I will mention, if you're not a part of any of our lists and want to receive our emails as well, you can do so by going to our website and signing up onto our newsletter. That was the majority of what we wanted to discuss in the marketing section for this today. So definitely open to any questions if there are any. I know there's only about 10 of you here, but if you do have any questions, happy to answer any of them. And again, this is all going to be recorded and put onto our YouTube page, so you can take a look at all the content that we have on here there. I will lastly mention too, from the marketing side of things, we always want to make sure that we're getting feedback on maybe some things that we're pushing forward, or we always want to make sure that we're transparent with the community as well with some of the initiatives that we're doing. So if you do have any questions for us, you can answer, or you can ask those in either Slack community, or in the forum as well, and we'll be more than happy to jump on there and answer any questions for you. But for the most part, this was what we wanted to cover today for the marketing side of things. So if you have any questions, more than happy to answer. And I don't see any. So I have a pretty bad habit of going through presentations very quickly. So I know we have about 10 minutes left. So if you guys wanted to take a bit of a break before the next session and grab a coffee, we can definitely end a little bit early today. But yeah, I wanted to thank everybody for coming. And again, if you have any questions for us, please feel free to reach out through the Slack channel or through the forum as well. We're very active on there as well, and we're always happy to answer any questions that you might have. So feel free to reach out whenever. Any last questions before we jump off here? All right. Well, thanks everybody. Appreciate your time today. We will see you at the next session.